So, Sean, on this problem for NATO, and it clearly is a problem, will they be reassured by what Pete Hegseth was saying, that America remains committed to NATO?
One of the things that when I was listening through that, you can't help picking out that actually Pete Hegseth was making great overtures to say how strong he thought NATO was, how he committed to NATO, and President Trump was, because European leaders have been a little bit worried about whether Trump is going to walk away from it. But he was absolutely clear. Though he majored on this money side, he mentioned on the defence industrial base that had to be there. I'm less worried about the 5% number that was going out there. President Trump's famous for doing stretching the elastic band pretty hard. And actually, even when he was asked about that in the news conference, he backpedaled about 5% and said, America's spending a lot more than this. But I suspect 3% is the actual number. The trouble is, I'm a veteran of the Cold War, and however much the European nations may worry about a number that's north of 2.5%, we were spending over 4% in the Cold War, and it feels like a more dangerous world. And we've had 35 years of not spending. So I think that message resonates, and we've still got, his point is, there's still a third of NATO members that are failing to pay the 2%. And what I think we're getting closer to is the point at which Mark Rutte has to turn around and go, you either pay or you don't enjoy the benefits. If you're not going to pay your premiums, you can't enjoy the benefits that NATO membership provides.
Right, and just briefly on Ukraine itself, are they right to be worried that a deal could be done over their heads that involves giving away chunks of their territory?
I'm less worried about that at the moment because it's not entirely clear what President Trump's role is in this. America is not at war with Russia. Russia is at war with Ukraine. So what is exactly that actually he's negotiating with President Putin? I think one of the things will be he wants to distance himself from President Biden. He wants to say NATO's off the table, because Putin was clearly worried about NATO getting closer to Russia's border. And he also said that the issue of territory probably was an unrealistic ambition. And although everybody gasps at that, most recent conversations that Sky's had with President Zelensky have turned around and said, look, he doesn't think that's reasonable. What I was a little bit concerned about was that Trump seems to have given away a few of his negotiating cards already. And I suspect that, President Trump has been making big overtures about Panama Canal, about Greenland, about Israel and Gaza. I suspect we've got to look beyond the rhetoric, and all of this, I suspect, is just using it as America focusing on China, UK and the EU sort out the continent.
Okay.